is dead, right?
Okay, well,
How the is these paying for a jet?
All rats. If you ever tell, I hate you, like with a passion. I really hate rats with real passions. Like I hate you bad. I'm looking to the camera. I hate rat.
Music. Lil Durk was really out here moving like a mafia boss, forcing the feds to use tactics that have been used to bring down mafia families. Authorities have Durk on tape admitting to murders, and it's not only the murder of Quando Rondo's cousin from having his brother's killer murked to ordering the death of an informant's baby mama. Durk was out here flying as killers in private planes. Vaughn is dead right. Okay, well, how is these paying for a jet? This is going to be one wild ride. OTF snitch sells out L. Durk. If there's one thing that Lil Durk has made clear in his past interviews, it's that he hates snitches. I hate all rats. If you ever tell I hate you like with a passion. I really hate rats with real passions, like I hate you bad. I'm looking to the camera. I hate. Or what's crazy is that Durk might be in cuffs because one of his mans told on him. According to court documents, a dude named OTF Jam, who is a trusted member of the crew, played a crucial role in the investigation that brought down Lil Durk. It turns out that this dude had been released from prison in 2022 after serving 12 years for attempted murder. Apparently he was an informant who had been cooperating with authorities for years. The craziest part about all this is that he wore a wire while around Lil Durk and other OTF gang members, which provided intel to the feds, a betrayal that no one saw coming, not even Durkio. According to the indictment, Jam's recordings and the information he provided were key in linking Durk to the now infamous murder for high plot that almost took out Quando Rondo. If you understand OTF Jam's relationship with Durk, then his involvement in ratting out the OTF boss will shock you, and his secret recordings, which have formed the backbone of the case against Durk, will start to look like the worst case of backstabbing in hip-hop history. Jam, a longtime member of OTF, was considered a brother by Lil Durk. During Jam's 12-year incarceration for attempted murder, Durk stood by him, providing financial support and ensuring that Jam's needs were met. This included covering legal fees, purchasing a house, car, and gifting him more than $50,000 in cash. Say gave you 50. Oh, you know, fact. Can you tell us how much he gave you? Or you don't want to? We ain't got to get into all that, but bro made sure he made a way for me to be straight like. But if this wasn't enough, Durk also took care of OTF Jam, even while he was in jail. So what would make someone turn on their homie without any remorse? That's I nobody say like I know I'm the real witness, like a lot of my whole time I was straight. It turns out Durk may have been involved in the death of his baby mama. According to reports, Lil Durk found out that Jam had been wearing a wire all along, determined to get his revenge. Durk knew that getting an FBI informant murked could bring him unwanted attention from the feds, so he went after his child's mother, Octavia Redmond. And on a seemingly ordinary day in the West Pullman neighborhood of Chicago, the life of a beloved postal worker, Octavia Redmond, was tragically cut short on the 19th of July 2024 at approximately noon. Octavia was in front of a Chicago home preparing to deliver mail when a stolen SUV pulled up nearby. The vehicle, later identified as the getaway car, was driven by a 15-year-old suspect. The suspect exited the SUV and approached Octavia with a chilling intent. Without warning, he shot her multiple times at close range, leaving her critically injured on the ground. The suspect meanwhile fled the scene in the stolen SUV. The 48-year-old woman was taken to Christ Hospital in critical condition, where she was later pronounced dead at the hospital. In the immediate aftermath of the shooting, the Chicago Police Department launched an intensive investigation to track down the suspect. The U.S. Postal Inspection Service also became involved, offering a substantial reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of those responsible. They took to their X account, where they announced a $250,000 prize for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the suspect responsible for the homicide. As the investigation unfolded, authorities utilized footage from police and private cameras to trace the suspect's movements before and after the shooting. The stolen SUV was identified, and an anonymous tip provided crucial information that helped identify the suspect. Months passed as investigators worked tirelessly to bring the perpetrator to justice. The breakthrough came when the suspect was located in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and arrested on a murder warrant. Despite Durk's loyalty to his homie, Jam decided to become what the Chicago rapper hates the most, a rat. But having his baby's mother killed didn't solve anything. The damage was already done. So what exactly did OTF Jam reveal to the cops that might see Durk get the death penalty? Well, OTF Jam's revelations To the cop started with the tragic events of November 6, 2020 that night King Vav Duro's best friend was killed outside an Atlanta nightclub. The altercation began as a physical fight between Vav and Quando Rondo, escalating into gunfire when a member of Rondo's entourage allegedly shot Vaughn multiple times, resulting in his death. CCTV footage showed V approaching fellow rapper Quando Rondo and punching him to the ground. V's guys joined in and started beating the brakes off Quando as he tried in vain to get away from his attackers. As the assault went on, one of Chu's homeboy, who was later identified as Lil Tim, appeared from behind their vehicle with a gun in hand and started letting off shots as everyone ran away. V was hit on his torso. He would later die from his gunshot wounds while in hospital during surgery. For Lil Durk, the death of his friend was not only a personal tragedy but also a catalyst for further animosity towards Quando Rondo. Rumors began to circulate that Durk had placed a bounty on Rondo's head, fueling speculation and fear within the industry. Court documents show that OTF Jam told cops that after V's death, Durk used coded language to tell OTF members that he would pay a bounty to anyone who would take part in killing Quando Rondo. Durk's cousin DeAndre Wilson also told OTF members that anyone who took part in the murder would be rewarded with lucrative music opportunities with OTF, which was also a music label. In August 2022, Lil Durk's associates allegedly learned that Quando Rondo was staying at a hotel in Los Angeles and plans to MK Quando were set in motion. Lil Durk's associates DeAndre Wilson, Keith Jones, David Lindsay and Asa Houston traveled from Chicago to San Diego and then driven to Los Angeles, allegedly using funds provided by Durk himself. The group was determined to carry out their mission with precision and stealth, avoiding any direct links to Durk by following his alleged instructions to avoid booking flights under names associated with him. The feds reveal that they obtained information from Durk's iCloud where he warned them not to book anything in his name. However, despite the warning, they still went ahead and booked the flights using a credit card linked to Lil Durk and OTF. Upon their arrival, the OTF members met with Kion Grant, a top associate who had flown to Los Angeles on a private jet. Grant played a crucial role in facilitating the operation, securing hotel accommodations for the group, purchasing ski masks and obtaining 2 luxury sedans to be used in the ambush. According to court records, Grant also provided Jones, Lindsay and an unidentified third member with firearms, including one that had been converted into a machine gun, further escalating the potential for violence. As the day unfolded, the group allegedly began tracking Quando Rondo and his associate Robinson as they traveled around Los Angeles in a Cadillac Escalade. Their journey took them to various locations, including a marijuana dispensary and a clothing store in West Hollywood. Detention was palpable as the suspects followed their targets, waiting for the opportune moment to strike. The climax of the day's events occurred at a gas station across from the Beverly Center, a bustling area in the heart of Los Angeles. Here, Asa Houston allegedly parked his car strategically behind the station, setting the stage for the ambush. As Quando Rondo and Robinson stopped at the gas station, Jones, Lindsay and the third unidentified man reportedly exited their vehicle armed and ready to execute their plan. The suspects opened fire, unleashing a hail of bullets in an attempt to kill Rondo. Tragically, El Pobe, Chu's cousin, who was standing outside the Escalade, was struck and killed in the gunfire, while Rondo miraculously escaped unharmed. The scene was one of chaos and terror as bystanders scrambled for safety and the suspects fled the scene. Afterwards, the suspects regrouped at an In-N-Out hamburger stand where they allegedly discussed payment with Con Grant. The group then made their way back to Chicago, flying from San Diego as authorities began piecing together the details of the brazen attack. Word on the streets is that these 2 murders aren't the only ones that Durk has paid for, from his brother's killer to an OP who disrespected Vaughn's mural. Durk has been moving reckless for a while. Murders. Lil Durk has paid for the earliest murder-for-hire plot that Durk has been caught up in involves the murder of his brother. The story starts with the death of Lil Durk's brother D on June 7, 2021 on a Sunday morning outside a strip club in South suburban Harvey. Shots were fired and Dang was shot in the head. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Word on the street was that a dude named Stefan Ma was responsible for Dang's death, so Lil Durk put a bounty on his head. And on January 7, 2022, Mac was gunned down at the Youth Peace Center of Roseanne, located at 420 West 111th Street in Chicago. Soon 2 men, Anthony Montgomery Wilson and Preston Powell, were indicted with murder for hire. The events leading up to Mac's murder were meticulously planned. Montgomery Wilson and Powell, along with